So Christianity is not merely giving up bad things so you can be saved. It's giving up good things so others can be saved. It's pouring your life out in self-sacrificial service for others. And that's what you dedicate yourself to as a class. That's the commitment you make as a Bible-believing Christian, that no longer will life flow around yourself, but that for you to live as Christ and to die as gain. W.D. Anderson went out to Rusanga Mission School, and he said to his wife, as they got there the very first day, they had no house to live in. They had to make a little simple hut. And that first night that they were there, in the years 1902 that they went, primitive conditions, he said to his wife, darling, and they went out there, incidentally, pulled in an ox cart. And they had a few supplies. They were going to sleep under the covered wagon that night until they could build a little place. He said, let me go out and survey the land, and you make a fire here, and you prepare the evening meal. So as he was out walking the land, a young African boy came, and Brother Anderson had said to his wife, it'll take us 2 years, but we can build a few dormitories here. We can work with our hands. We can build a school, but it'll take about 2 years. He's out there, and an African boy comes and he says, you are a teacher. He knew a little bit to communicate. And he said, I come to school. Teach me. First night he's there. Next day, 5 more African boys came. We want to learn. And so Brother Anderson didn't know the language. So how could he teach them? So they had a little blackboard that they had brought there. So he took it out with a wagon, put it up. And he would pick up a piece of fruit that they had grown, a banana that some of the boys would bring. He would write English, banana. And then they would tell him the word in Swahili. What is it? He'd write it down. Banana, banana. And he'd write it down. And he learned their language in 6 months by writing those words down. Then he began teaching those boys. In 6 months, they had 40 students. They had built, and he got the boys to build a little dormitory. So he'd be teaching them the Bible, making very simple language and writing down the words for them. And then he built a little dormitory. Pretty soon it was filled. They had no place. And 5 more boys came. The boys were sleeping on the floor. They were sleeping everywhere. And he said, we have no place. And they said, wait a minute, there's one place left. And we'll ask the boys if they'll be willing to sleep there. It is the kitchen table that we serve the food on. And the boys said, we will sleep there. And they came. Today we have 5 million Seventh-day Adventists on the continent of Africa. Largely the result of W.D. Anderson's work. This work began in sacrifice. And God is going to raise up a generation of young people. Some of them may be sitting here, whose lives are not characterized by self-service, whose lives are characterized by sacrifice. They hear the echo of the Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 12. They hear the echo of Paul in Romans 12, verse 1. Romans 12 and verse 1 and verse 2. I beseech you. The word beseech means I plead with you. I urge you. I admonish you. As much as within me as within me is, Paul says, Romans 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God. You see, you can only make a total sacrifice to Christ by the mercies of God. It is God's mercy. It's God's love. It's the sacrifice of Christ on the cross. It is the one that has given his all for us that leads us to give our all to him. It's the one whose love will not let us go, who longs to be with us in heaven through all eternity, that motivates us. I beseech you, therefore, brothers and sisters, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. I want to look at that text a little more closely. You see where it says, notice, I beseech you. He's saying, I urge you. Therefore, brothers, by the grace of God, by the mercy of God, that you present. Notice that's choice. He doesn't force us. He says that you present. That's an active volition of the will. Now it says your bodies. Your bodies is not a good translation. In the Greek language for bodies, the word is sumata. Now, if I say the word sumata to you, what is the English word that comes to your mind? Sumata. Some. And you know what this Greek word means, sumata? It means the totality of everything you are. So in the Greek language, sumata means your mind, your body, and your emotions. It means the sum of all your being. And so what Paul is saying here is, I urge you, my brothers and sisters, by the mercies of God, because of what Christ has done for you, that you voluntarily present the total sum of your being, your mind, your body, and spirit, as a living sacrifice.